What's going on, everyone? Hope everybody's having a good day. As you are coming into the live, please let me know where you're tapping in from. Today, we're going to talk about how you can 10x that tax return money, right? Because a lot of times when it comes to people wanting to invest into themselves or invest into a business, or they're trying to figure out something that they can do to start a side hustle or something, the main thing that's usually holding people back is the funds. So it's tax return time. So once you have that tax return, I'm going to show you 5 steps to 10x your tax return money. You don't have to use all the money. You know, some of these things I'm going to give you, it only is going to take a couple $100, but there are ways that you can eventually get financial freedom, okay? So let's get into it in just a second here. Hello, everybody. Let me know where you're tapping in from. PA. I'm in PA. It's a nice day today. It's cold, but it's sunny. Fort Lauderdale. I know it's probably sunny there. What's going on, everyone? All right, so let's get into it, okay? So got my notes here. So number 1, when I left my job, okay, last May of last year, I was really struggling because it was a complete mental shift for me, because I went from having a customer service type of job where I was helping people all the time, talking to people all day long, getting up, driving an hour to get to my job, to nothing, to being home, right? I felt lost, and I felt like I just didn't know where to start. I knew I had a lot of money-making skills, and I knew that I had, a purpose, okay? But I didn't know where to begin. So what I did is I invested into a mentor. I invested into somebody that had a course that was going to teach me how to take the skills that I already had and how to scale my business and really scale my life. So my first step is to invest into someone, because by investing into someone, you're at the same time investing into yourself, okay? Because that person's going to teach you the shortcut, right? Teaching all the mistakes that they made, and they're going to teach you the roadmap to get to where you want to be, which is eventually we all want financial freedom and time freedom. I don't know many people that don't want that. Having the ability to just get up when you want, do what you want, right? Not have to answer to a boss, not have to say, oh, I'm going to the bathroom, I'll be right back. Most people don't want to do that. And you may enjoy your job right now. I did. I enjoyed my job. But I got to the point where I was like, this isn't it. I know I'm not fulfilling my purpose in life. And I know that I'm extremely underpaid and undervalued, right? Mainly it was undervalued and underpaid, but it was both. And I realized I have all these skills, I need to do something. So I invested into somebody who taught me how to scale my business, and it completely changed everything for me. So that's my first step for you, is to take that money and invest into a mentorship, or invest into a training, or invest into somebody that can help you to guide you to where you want to go. All right. So that's step number 1. If you are looking for a program, maybe you're looking to work with Mikhail and I more, then our 5 Days to Freedom course would be a great place to start, because it's going to teach you about personal credit, business credit. It's going to teach you how to get funding. It's going to teach you some different business ideas and what you can do with that money that you get, and things that you can invest into. So if you're just getting started in the entrepreneurial space, that would be a great course to get. It's $97 one time. It's in my link tree if you're interested, but it's a great place to start, okay? Filled with tons of value. So step number 2 is to fix your credit, all right? You guys know, or most of you should know, that Mikhail and I do not any longer fix people's credit for them. We now teach them with a video-based step-by-step course how to fix your credit yourself. And the reason why I think it's so important to fix your credit yourself is when you are fixing your credit yourself, nobody cares more about your credit than you, and you're in full control of your credit, right? You can go at the pace that you want, the speed that you want, and by knowing how to fix your own credit, when you go and apply for funding in the future, you're going to understand exactly how to remove inquiries, if you need to do that in the future. You're going to know the plays on how to go and get a car with one inquiry. You're going to know what banks you need to go to. You're going to know the steps on which you need to take in order to get maximum funding, both personally and for your business. So that's why I believe that it is so important for you to have that skill yourself and to teach yourself. And one of the best things that you can do is purchase our course, if that's something that you're interested in doing, okay? Is fixing your credit yourself. If you want to pay somebody to fix your credit for you, that's completely up to you. I personally have done that in the past and I didn't get the results that I was looking for. So I'm a huge advocate in learning, okay? I'm always a student. I'm always learning. I'm always investing money into other people, other people's courses, people that know more than I do, so that I can better equip myself in life and in my business. So that's step number 2, is to fix your credit, okay? Step number 3 is you want to start a business of some kind. And to start a business, I mean just go and register your LLC, okay? And it's not very expensive to go and do it. Obviously, the prices vary depending upon what state you're in and what state you're going to be doing business in. But by registering your business, you're going to be opening up more doors to getting more funding. Because now that you've invested in a mentor, right? So now you have the blueprint, okay? You now have fixed your credit. So now you're going to be able to leverage your personal credit to go ahead and get more funding for your business, right? And that's going to be the next step, okay? So with starting a business, it doesn't have to be like this full out business where you're hiring all these people right away. It can just be a side hustle, something that you do on the side that's not going to take up a ton of your time. And it's something that you can do in addition to maybe working full-time, working part-time. And it's something that's eventually going to replace that full-time income that you're making, right? Because that's the whole point. You don't really want to start a side hustle and keep it as a side hustle forever, right? You want to eventually be able to invest more of your time and more money into that business to grow it, okay? So one of the side hustles that I started was a photo booth business. All right, let me let Mikhail in here. Photo booth business. So I invested into this with one of my best friends. We each put in $2,500. So to start that business, it's about $5,000.
Hello. Appreciate you letting me join.
You're welcome. So initially, the photo booth business was a $5,000 investment, okay? And then and that covered the costs of like buying the machine that we needed, registering the business. We also need to purchase an iPad for the business because it was a huge part of being able to start that business. Some other things that we invested into is advertising and marketing because we wanted to figure out a way to let people know about our business because we were brand new, right? And there's a lot of competition out there. So we still do to this day, we pay for advertising on The Knot and the Wedding Wire. So they're both they're one company, but they're two separate websites. And if you've gotten married, recently since these companies have been opened, you'll know that they're hugely advertised businesses within the wedding industry. Okay, so people will go on there, they'll create their website, they can find all their vendors on there. And Mikhail and I just got married in 2021? Yeah, 2021. So at that time, I was using theknot.com. I found a lot of my vendors on theknot.com. So we knew that investing that money was going to be important for us because it was going to put us in front of a bigger audience and a bigger amount of people that were looking for what we had to offer. Another thing that we did, and I know I'm kind of diving into this, but it's because I do it. We partnered with different venues. We actually partnered with the venue where Mikhail and I got married at. Gave them, what's it called? Flyers with coupon codes and stuff like that to just get more people out there. And actually one of the women that worked there, she actually left to go work at another venue. And she took some of our flyers with her, right? So we're getting referrals both in person from just doing some footwork and just going out there and talking to people. And we're also getting the traffic from the Knot and the Wedding Wire, plus all the people that we've actually done photo booth services for. We're getting so many leads from people just word of mouth. Today, in fact, I actually just booked a wedding in November of this year, and she was a referral from somebody, from her cousin, who we did a Sweet 16 for, and we did her daughter's wedding. So that just goes to show you. And we're also doing a photo booth event in May that we did last May for a school event. So there's a lot of money to be made in the photo booth business, okay? And then as your business grows, you can purchase more equipment, more photo booths and things like that. And it's a lot of fun because a lot of times those events, like if you're working full time, the events are typically like Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday. Like think about when weddings are, right? When parties are, it's usually when people aren't busy. It's usually in the evening. It's usually on the weekends. So it's a very flexible business if you're looking to start a side hustle. So,
Can you talk
all right.
about Can you talk about some of the things you did to help you to stand out? Because some people might think, okay, like there's already other people in my city that have that type of business. What did you do, like on your website or anything, to help you to stand out so that you could beat the competition or compete?
So, yeah, so something that I did when we first started, I priced our package lower. That's one of the first things that I did. I did $350 for 3 hours, and we included an attendant at the time because we were really trying to just like build up business and get more yeses instead of nos, because we would rather make the time investment, you know what I mean? Like in the beginning, like make a little bit more of investment with our time than money,
Okay.
right? So, and then as we grew our clientele and we got really good testimonies and things like that, then we were able to increase our prices it only took a couple months, and then we increased our prices. And, you know, it's still going and going and going to this day. Something else that we did is I actually put our photo booth, like had it all together. And I did an actual walkthrough video showing people exactly how the machine works in live time.
That's
I
the
also even like, yeah, so our photo booth is all digital. We don't print pictures. So what happens is when you take a picture, the picture, you can have it be sent as a text or an email or whatever, right to the person's phone. So what I did is I actually like stood there, took the picture, and then I showed how the images go directly to the phone, how there's a live website that's created. So what I tried to do is eliminate any questions so that literally when people would come to me, they would already know what to expect because they had watched the video on how it works. And maybe they just had a couple questions, and it really, again, eliminated a lot of time on the phone because as a business owner, like I didn't have a lot of time to be on the phone, right? Like I wanted to be on the phone to close. I didn't want to be on the phone answering questions and like inquiring questions. I wanted to be on the phone because the person was ready to get a contract sent to them. So I'm spending a lot of time talking about the photo booth business, but it really is a great investment, especially if you're somebody that works full time. And if you decide to partner with somebody like I did, I don't go to the events. Like I did a couple in the beginning, and I do when my business partner can't, but I primarily deal with the customer service. I do all the contracts, I collect the money, I do the banking, the bookkeeping, and things like that. And my business partner actually goes to the events because she has more time than I do. Yeah, so that's that. Something else that you can invest into that Mikhail and I actually did is called Peerspace. You can go and check it out. It's a website. And what we did is we had an office space, and we realized that like we're not going to be at the office all the time. So what we did is we put it on a website called Peerspace where people can rent out a space. You can even rent out parts of your home if you live in a home, and they'll pay you hourly. So it's very similar to Airbnb, but Airbnb, you know, you rent out and you stay overnight and things like that, where this is more of an hourly event. So we've had people that came and did photo shoots and things like that, where they're booking for 3 hours, but it's $60 an hour. Where doing the calculations, like if we were doing that enough, it was going to more than cover our rent, right? So what you could do is you want to make sure that you have enough money to cover the first, last, and security deposit for a space. So it could be anywhere from, you know, a couple $1,000 to more, depending upon where you're renting and where you live and things like that. You want to make sure that the place is findable. Like for us, when we rented our space, we were on a major highway, like in our area, like everybody knew the highway. So it was very easy to find. You want to make sure that it's well lit, well decorated. Okay, so make sure that you have money set aside for furniture and things that you can do to furnish it. So, and that kind of leads us, well, the third thing before I get into the next part. The third thing that you could invest into business-wise is a digital product, okay? And there's so many different types of digital products. You can do ebooks, you can do checklists, you can do online courses, you can do, what else, Mikhail?
You can do Etsy.
Yeah, you could sell,
but if we, I
on
mean,
Etsy.
if they want to 10x, like if you want to 10x your tax return, then your best bet is going to be a course. And most people won't make them because they think it's hard, but doing what's hard is what's going to get you the results that you truly want.
Right.
And I want to just say what's up to everybody that hopped in. Key, Lewis, I know y'all on my head. When I'm off of this live, I got y'all. I'm telling you.
Somebody asked, it can't be empty. So the space can be empty. It really depends on what who you're marketing towards, right? Like, what are they using that space for? Is it for photo shoots and things like that? Like, are you going to provide backdrops, right? Like, you need to think about who is that space going to be for? Is it going to be for parties? So if it's for parties, do you want to make sure that you have tables and chairs? Or is that something they're going to need? Huh?
I just said don't do parties. Not at
right,
your
but I'm saying you need to figure out who that space is for so you can determine if the space can be empty or not. All right. If it is an empty space, then that's fine too. Like, that's just how you would have to advertise it, as being an empty space.
Someone asks, if when they remove a collection, will your scores go up?
Not necessarily. It depends on what kind of collection it is, and how long it's been on your credit report. There's a lot of deciding factors on that, but typically, yes, when you remove a collection, it will help to increase your score, typically. Like, if
and what it's going to do is overall is going to help your credit profile, because like a collection just shows that you didn't pay somebody. So if, I have the ability to be aware that you didn't pay somebody, I'm going to judge you differently than if I wasn't aware of that. So removing the collection, it's a twofold thing. Yeah, it will help your credit score most of the time, but the overall thing is that it's going to be helping your credit profile and allowing you to be getting those approvals that you wouldn't otherwise get with it on there.
Right, and the person said, like, if they want to decorate themselves. Yeah, absolutely. So what I would suggest to you, go on peerspace.com and look at some of the other spaces that are available for rent on there, because that's going to give you a better idea. A lot of people will rent out like studio spaces, even where they have different like scenarios set up for people that either film, do podcasts, or just come in and want to do photo shoots, whether they're headshots or maybe they have jewelry, whatever it may be. So go on Peerspace and check it out. It's going to give you a better idea. And it might even give you some ideas that you wouldn't even think of. They removed my inquiries collection, but no scores went up. Yeah, again, it really depends.
Yeah, your profile is better.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
Yeah. Hello. I purchased your bundle and I love it. Yay.
And that's
great news.
Love you for loving it. So
right.
Much education in there, honestly. It's insane.
Yes.
Oh, you forgot to pin my my comment.
Oh.
I'll put it again.
Are you?
No problem.
Like, you just basically have the space for them and they're renting it out and decorate. Yeah, you can do that. Just go to Peerspace and check it out.
The way we had our setup was just like, it was just super. Yeah, it was furnished. It was super lit, like super bright. Like, So the types of people that would come in there would be like business owners that wanted to take product images of their products and stuff like that. It was a real nice professional setup. Dominiqu's like an interior designer.
Kind of.
Someone said, I appreciate you both. We appreciate you.
Yes.
Just started it, but feel so knowledgeable. Yeah. I try to cover everything, like in the master and personal credit section. I try to cover everything.
Right. Key to 730. Yeah, your score doesn't matter. It just gives you bragging rights. Exactly.
That's
So true. Yes, I'm putting my family on. Time to change generational curses. Yes. That's what it's all about too. And that's why, like, when I was speaking earlier about fixing your credit yourself, and I really suggest that you do that over paying somebody else, because it's not only going to help you financially, but you're going to be able to help the people around you. You know, whether you choose to fix their credit or you're just simply teaching them the skills or giving them some knowledge to make better decisions, like financial decisions, you know, it's better when you are better equipped to be a better influence to the people that are around you, you know?
Exactly.
And then you have better conversations with people too, because they'll be like, oh, like he really knows what he's talking about.
You want to be the best example of your best advice.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. So if you walk it, you'll be fine. You don't even have to talk.
Yeah.
I just talk a lot.
We both do. I wanted to give another example too of a business that you can start. So you can also start a service-based business. An example of that, so there's a couple service-based businesses, right? I have a couple written down here. So you could learn how to become a bookkeeper. There's a lot of courses out there where you can go and learn from other people that are bookkeepers, or you can just go and like get an online course and learn that way. Mm-hmm. Taxes. You could learn how to do taxes. Again, there's a lot of programs that are out there where you can be certified to do somebody's taxes. Mm-hmm. It's a great way to earn an income, and it's not something that you necessarily have to do year round. Or you can learn how to do taxes and how to do bookkeeping. So now during tax season, you're doing taxes, but then on the off season, you're helping your customers, and you can offer your customers bookkeeping services, right? Mm-hmm. Starting a credit repair business. A lot of people that get into our course, our Credit Essentials bundle, they learn how to fix their own credit. They're so confident in it and getting results for not only themselves, but then they start to fix their friends, their family's credit. And they're like, hey, like, I want to start a business out of this. Like, I can tell that this is going to be very lucrative, and, you know, this is something that I can see myself doing, and I can eventually quit my job like he did, right? So that's something that you could start too. And if that's something you're interested in starting a credit repair business, we do have the Credit Influencer Academy. I think we have, what, Mikhail, one spot left? Because someone just hopped in today.
There's legitimately one spot left, and it's most likely going to get gobbled up within the next 24 hours.
Yeah, before the end of the day. So
I know somebody said they was waiting on a business credit card to come in the mail to swipe.
Yeah. So that last spot is the last $1,000 spot. And then after that, the price will be increasing. We haven't decided what we're increasing it to, but it will be increasing. And the best part about getting in early is you're getting one-on-one help from Mikhail and I. So we're literally getting on so like, here's how it works, just a little bit. So it's a full out, it's 2 phases. The first phase of it is a course, a step-by-step course, video teaching you. Sorry, hold on. Sorry, my phone's dying. Let me plug it in. But the first phase is an online course where we're teaching you step by step how to scale.
We'll wait for you. We'll wait for you. Hold on.
I mean, I'm still here. I'm just trying to get the
I don't want to miss it.
So the first phase is a step-by-step video course where we're teaching you the tools that you need, the resources that you need, and the skills that you need to scale your credit repair business to $20,000 a month plus. Okay, so that's phase 1, is the actual course. Once you've completed phase 1, you move on to phase 2, which is creating your system. Now, it's not something that you have to create from scratch. It's literally plug and play. Mikhail and I have built multiple systems. We've been building systems and funnels and websites for 8 years, something like that, something crazy. And we've perfected it. We've created an entire course. You even get a funding website with it. You literally have everything that you need, down to the follow-up emails, the follow-up text messages. You get a calendar. You have the ability to conversate with people and separate your personal life from your business, okay? So you get all of that, but during the system process, you're actually getting Mikhail and I's one-on-one help and guidance through it.
Mhm.
So, and that's the beauty of being able to get in early, is being able to get our help, okay? Now, after this price increase, I don't know how we're going to be doing things because, you know, we're getting busier. So I don't know what it's going to be. So if you want to get into that last spot, make sure you get in. And then one of the first things we do is after you get in, we do a Zoom call, because we really want to figure out what your goal is, like where you are now and what you really want to get out of the course and where you want to be after everything's completed. And we make that our personal mission to get you there. So your job is to go through the course and to apply what you learn, and you are going to have to put in some of the work too. Okay. Right. So it's $1,000 now. If you go and do it now, there's only one spot left. So do with that what you may. Okay.
Someone said I have a 761 on Experian, but my FICO 9 is a 695. Is it because I've had a few inquiries?
Wait, I didn't hear it. What?
Somebody's basically asking, is their Experian score different than their FICO 9 because they have a few inquiries, a few hard inquiries?
I mean, I'm not sure. I would have to look at it. That's not something that I can just answer, I feel like.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, you would have to look at the entire credit profile to be able to tell why. But at the end of the day, they're both they're rated different. So the score is going to be different pretty much regardless.
Mm-hmm. Someone said, excuse me, I just bought 2 courses, and you said it was going to send a link with my email. So if you never got it, just send me a DM, and as soon as I get off the live, I'll make sure I get it over to you. Not an issue.
Mm-hmm.
How do I join the Influencer Academy? So if you want to join the Influencer Academy, you want to send the message to our either Mikhail's DM or my DM, mentor. All right. And then you'll be able to go through that process. So, okay. Another service-based business. It's not really like service-based business, but you do have to service it. Okay. Is a vending machine. All right. So this can be candy. It can be soda. It can be toys. My dad has a restaurant, and they have a vending machine there that has toys. And I don't know if you guys have ever been to restaurants with kids with toys, okay? They want to put money into this machine. My kids, every time we go to my dad's restaurant, they're $5, $10, you know, they want to play to win. And they drive me crazy about this dang vending machine, okay? So even before we go into the restaurant. All right, anyway. So the whole point is you can make a lot of money by just purchasing a machine and filling it with stuffed animals that you can buy in bulk on Amazon. I'm sure there's other websites out there as well. You can get stuff from the dollar store. You can go to Five Below,
Ollie's.
right? And yeah, and these machines make significant income. And you can put, what you want to do is you want to place them in places where kids go, where people are waiting. Places like a dentist office, so you could reach out to children dentist offices. Where else are people with restaurants and things like that? Like, just think about where kids are hanging out and are waiting, and different things like that. Hey y'all, I'm tapping in from work. Hey.
Oh my gosh, I'm so dyslexic. I thought it said New York.
Wow. Another thing that you can invest your tax return money into is ATMs. So, and this is something that we actually teach in our 5 Days to Freedom. So with the ATMs, you just go and you actually purchase the machine, and then you would fill it with money. And the way that you make money from it is the fees. So again, you could partner with nail salons, hair salons, places that, think about places that take cash only, right? Even convenience stores and things like that. You can go in there and you can literally set the fee to whatever you want it to be. Barbershops, yeah, dispensaries, like different things like that. And a lot of these businesses are getting smart, and they're actually purchasing their own machines. So not only are they making money from you when they make the sale, but they're making money from you because they're like, hey, we're cash only, but we got an ATM right by the front door. So they've
Jamaican
got to go,
D's.
huh?
Jamaican D's.
Right. So you've got to go to the ATM, and now they're collecting a fee from you on top of the service or the product that you're buying from them, right? So definitely something to consider. There's a lot of money to be made in ATMs. Even putting like those vending machines in malls, ATMs, putting them in malls and things like that. All right. Step number 4. Okay. Because now we've talked about starting a business, side hustle, and all that stuff. Now it's like, okay, what's next? So you want to get funding. And the reason why is because you don't want to invest all of your personal money into your business. Okay. That personal money, you want to use that to make initial investments to get things up and running, and then you want to get business funding to continue to dump money into your business for things like advertising, things like marketing, okay? You want to be able to hire people. And when you're hiring people, you want to make sure you're hiring people that are smarter and know more than you do so that you can learn from them and take what they know, right, and be able to apply it to your business and learn from them. Something that Mikhail and I did when we were early on learning how to build systems. We had invested into a brand new system and we didn't know how to use it. We paid somebody $1,000 a month for what, Mikhail, maybe 3 months, 3 or 4 months, something like that.
4 months.
And I literally just learned everything. I hired her because I knew, like, she literally had worked for the company. She didn't work for them anymore. But when we hired her, she was like still able to get access to the company. So we were able to get like the inside scoop and the inside training. We literally
we would get our
learned.
messages forwarded.
Yeah, so we literally learned so much from her. And then after that initial, 3-month, 4-month investment, then we didn't have to pay her anymore because we already knew, like, we learned everything from her, right? Someone said, can I increase the credit limit amount on a recent, I'm assuming it's probably US bank card. Already have a 10K one. Can I increase that new $500 limit one? Yeah, so when it comes to increasing limits on cards, it depends on like what bank it is. Sometimes banks will do a hard inquiry on a limit increase. That really varies bank to bank. So you can call them and ask them what their procedures are for that. Also, some banks will want you to have the card for 6 months. Some banks only do increases once a year. So again, it varies bank to bank.
The answer to the question is you want to call US Bank and or do your research on US Bank to find, like, for us to be able to answer that question, we would have to Google it.
Yeah.
So it's a Googleable question because, I mean, unless somebody banks at US Bank for sure, they're going to be the only ones that are going to be able to tell you that. And you don't want these people out here just telling you anything. Like, we teach our people how to really think. And like, yeah, because people could tell you anything, and that's not cool that they could tell you anything. Like, people always say Instagram, it's just like, it's a facade, or it could be weird. So what we want to teach you is, like, we want to teach you the foundations, we want to teach you the principles, and then we want to teach you to be able to gather your own research so you can fish forever.
Yes. So the other thing about funding and being able to get funding for your business and hiring people is because eventually you don't want to have to work in your business. The main goal is time freedom. And in order to get more time, you have to make more money. So you can basically buy your time. Right? So in order to do that, you need to hire people to run your business for you. So that's why it's so important to get funding, to initially like dump this funding into things that are going to bring you more money, like advertising and marketing and hiring people that are smarter than you. If you hire people that are dumber than you, not only are you going to have to train those people, but you have to basically babysit them and make sure that they're doing things the way that you want to. So yes, making the initial investment into somebody that is smarter than you is not going to be cheap, but it's going to be a smart investment because in the long run, it's going to end up benefiting your business even more. Right.
A lot of times people will tell you, go to online jobs and hire these VAs, and a lot of times these VAs are not really qualified.
Yeah.
Like they have no qualifications a lot of times, right?
Yeah.
And they're cheap, and we see that other people are using them, but in reality, when this is and the people that are telling you to hire these VAs are typically people that are trying to help you to scale your business online, or you have an online business, right? So the thing is, you should really understand how each aspect of this works, because what happens is you go and you hire these people to do a task that you don't even know how to do. So they end up messing it up, and then it's this web of confusion because you kind of did it backwards. So what you want to do is hire the person with the qualifications, pay their price.
Yeah.
Allow them to be able to educate you and teach you, so that now you can go back and you can do it, but you don't have to do it. But what you can do is you can now train other people how to do it the right way.
Hang on. Tukey still, I got your message. Okay, I'm on live, so I can't help you at this moment, but just DM, send me a message, and as soon as I hop off, I'll make sure you get the info that you need to get logged in. But I can't do anything right now because I'm literally on live on my phone, and I can't. If I get out of it, the live ends. So just send me a message, and I'll get to you as soon
You'll
as
get
we're
in.
finished.
You'll get in.
Yeah, don't worry. I know you're excited.
The only way
Don't worry.
we can get you in right now on this live is if you put your email in the chat. So if you put your email in the chat, I can look it up and then try to send it to you. But if you want to do that. Anyways, so your list?
Yeah. So after you have invested into people, you've hired people now, right now you're paying for marketing and advertising, and your business is running pretty smooth. Now what you want to do is you want to automate your business. And how do you automate your business, right? Well, something that you want to do is with your business, it doesn't matter what it is, if it's a digital business, if it's a service-based business, you want to make sure that you're collecting any testimonials, okay? Because if you're running a service-based business, obviously you're doing a service for somebody, and you want to make sure that the service that you're providing is the best out there, because you don't want people to badmouth you, right? You want to be able to collect that positive testimonial, whether it's written, whether it's verbal, where it's via video, okay? You want to make sure that you're collecting those testimonials, because that is going to help you to skyrocket your business. And I say this, my dad and I talk a lot, and I say this to my dad all the time. It doesn't matter how great you think your product or your service or your business is. It doesn't matter what you think. What matters is what other people have to say about your business, right? Like I said, my dad owns a restaurant. It doesn't matter how much my stepmom and my dad think their food is great, their service is great. What matters is the people that are walking through that door every single day and they're sitting down. Are those people coming back? Are those people happy with the food? Are they leaving a positive review? That's what matters, the people that you're servicing. It doesn't matter how you feel and what you think, okay? So that's why it's so important to provide great customer service no matter what business that you're in, so that you can collect those testimonials, and that's going to help you to automate your business. So when we say to automate your business, we always recommend to use those testimonials to run marketing and advertising to your business, to a landing page where you might have another testimonial on there, or maybe you have a free training on there, right? Like Mikhail and I post a lot of our testimonials, and we have a free credit masterclass, okay? So you can go and watch that free credit masterclass. After that free credit, so you don't want to give it to people right away without exchanging something in return, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And when you have a business, pretty much like what's worth more than money is information, okay? Like their email address, their phone number, their name, because a lot of people don't buy the first time unless if you're a really easy sale, like me, okay? Like if you're impulsive when it comes to purchasing, then you're probably going to purchase the first time. You're not, this part wouldn't matter to you, but not everybody's like you and like me, okay? People like Mikhail, people like Mikhail don't buy the first time. They need to think about it. They need to make sure it's going to be a good investment. They might lose out on the sale because they wait too long to hit
I got to check with my wife.
You know? Right. What I'm saying is it's so important that you collect that information so that you can continue to follow up with those people people via email, via text message, right? And we're not going to hound them down saying, hey, buy from me now. You're going to say, hey, Sally loves our product. She came to us because she had terrible credit. She wasn't able to afford an apartment, right? Because her credit was so bad. She went through our course, was able to fix her credit, and now she bought her first home, okay? Her kids are now in a good school district because of this smart financial decision that she's made. You want to tell people about the positive experiences that other people are having because of your product, because of your service, right? So it's important that you set up at least a 14-day follow-up. Now, there are going to be some people that will say stop, and they're not interested. They're going to unsubscribe, and that's okay because they ain't your people. They're not people that are going to buy from you, and that's okay. Because eventually, that's going to save you more money than sending advertising to somebody that's never going to buy. Okay, so let them say stop, let them unsubscribe. We're good. Okay, and then what you want to do at the end, of course, is you do want to give your offer in your emails as well. All right. Mm-hmm. So after that story, you would put a link saying, if you're ready to buy your first home, or if you're ready to make that next investment, but your credit isn't where you need it to be, click the link below and let's, start fixing your credit today. Something simple like that. All right. So I'm using an example of what our industry is with something that you can do, but literally you can do that same exact system and layout and blueprint for any business. Mm-hmm. Do you have any input?
No, I mean, so
step number 5 is automate your business.
So yeah, I mean, what Dominique said is right. Like, if you want to make sure that you deliver a great service, right? A great experience for the customer. In return, one of those customers will give you a video testimonial. A picture won't work. It'll work like a little bit, but it won't work for what we're trying to tell you to do. You want a video. Right. When you get the video, you want to create a page for it and you want to post that video. And then the easiest thing you can do is boost it, like run it as an ad. Run that video of that person talking about your service, your product, or whatever, and then run it as an ad, and then have them go to a landing page. When they go to that landing page, they're going to exchange their information, their name, their phone number, their email, for something free. So your free stuff needs to be just as good as the paid stuff, or better than other people's paid stuff, right? So you want to be delivering something.
I was gonna say, you need to be able to charge, like, if you could charge money for your free product.
Right. And then after that, you want to make sure that you have a follow-up sequence. One of the things that I created is something called a value-based follow-up sequence, right? And I've done this for a bunch of different industries. Like, they'll tell me their industry and the topics, and then I'll write the email follow-ups. This is what we used to do before we were all the way 100% in this credit industry. It was like, we would take clients in whatever industry they're in, and we would make their system, and we would write all of their email marketing and all of that. So what I created is something called a value-based follow-up, whereas that instead of actually trying to sell all the time, you just are constantly giving value. And then obviously, of course, at the end of giving all the value, you can sell. So one of our clients in the real estate industry, he had a series of videos, right? So what we did, we took those videos and we uploaded them to his YouTube channel. And then every day for, I don't know how long it was, we sent everybody on his list, people that have bought from him, past real estate clients, investors, everybody, we sent them those emails once a day and those texts once a day, where he was just giving value on the industry of real estate investing. And then at the end, there would be an offer for them to either book and go to his event or whatever he was offering. But if you lead with value, everything else will follow. But most people don't get it. Like, the only reason sometimes people say, yo, man, I can't get y'all off of our timeline. Yes, because we're trying to flood you with value. We're trying to think, what haven't we posted in the last month that, maybe the people that have been following us saw it and they got it, but there's a new wave of people that don't have that information. So we got to get most people are like, oh, I posted too much, or I feel like I'm annoying people. You got to get over that mental curve or
If
whatever
people
hump.
if people are annoyed with you, they'll just unfollow you, and that's
Your
fine.
marketing has to be annoying. It's business.
Um,
Everything
right.
ain't for everybody.
I just wanted to answer this question quick. It says, I know business is a mental game. How can we stay positive while you're learning by failing? So, for me, something that was very important to me is to surround myself with positive people. Like, make sure that your circle and the people that you're surrounded with are positive, right? And are uplifting and care about you. Now, of course, you cannot control what your mom says, what your sister says, what your brother says, what your even your spouse says, okay? But there are other people out here, right? Like online, on YouTube, that you can pour into your mental, right? Even though you're not physically speaking with them, you're still hearing them. That's positiveness that you're pouring into you. Because as you build up your mental, that's going to help you to deflect all of the negativity that might be surrounding you and keep you positive and keep you on route. Something that Mikhail and I had was each other. We've always had each other. There are days where I'm down and he's up, and there's days where he's down and I'm up. We're never both down. We both are very uplifting. Like we had a day recently where it wasn't that great, right? Here's what I said. I said to Mikhail, I said, listen, I said, let's just be thankful. We're both able to be home with our children. We're both, like, our kids are healthy, right? We have a roof over our heads. We are more than able to pay for our bills every single month. Let's just be thankful. A new day starts in 45 minutes. We're good. Like, it is what it is, right? So sometimes you just need somebody that you can message how you're feeling, and they can help you to say, no, like, this is just a speed bump, right? Like, it's okay. So
Right.
sometimes you need to surround yourself with people that are like that.
And that is more than the truth, you
Mm-hmm.
guys. Like, if you can have a yin to your yang, I don't, that's like one of the biggest hacks. But look, so behind me, I know y'all probably can't see it, but I'm gonna read it, right? This is one of the things we got when we first got our office. And
No, hold on. That was hanging in my office at work. I stared
oh,
at it every single day. That picture, like, means a lot to me. Like, it has a lot. Yeah, go ahead,
yeah.
read it.
So this is the truth, because what I would say is you need to know where you're going. Like, when you know where you're going, it doesn't matter what anybody else is saying, what they're doing, none of that, right? You
Mm-hmm.
really, really, really have to understand where you're going, and you got to write it down. You got to visualize it. You might need to go and touch it. Like the cars that we drive today, when we were in our younger 20s, we went and we rented those cars and we drove them, right? And everything that we want, we kind of touch it. Like, when before we were able to afford to go take a nice vacation and stay at the best place,
Mm-hmm.
if a friend or somebody would invite us to come, like we're in the area and they're like, hey, come over here, we went to the top when we were younger, right? So we knew what we wanted, right? And we just worked towards it. So this right here says, live the life that you always dreamed of. Be fearless in the face of adversity. Never stop learning. Use your imagination whenever possible. Recognize the beauty that surrounds you. So when Dominique was saying, like, yo, just be thankful, like it's only like one day or whatever, right? So recognize the beauty that surrounds you. Remember where you came from, but never lose sight of where you're going. So when I say you truly have to know where you're going, you you will lose sight if you don't know where you're going. So you got to really like stamp that shit. Like, I remember when I was like 23, like I made a website called Wealthy by 25. I swore I was going to be wealthy by 25, right? I literally stamped it, my brand, everything. Wealthy by 25 was not wealthy by 25, right? But you have to have this ridiculous belief in where you're going, that it doesn't matter what anybody. Do you honestly think that I care about what anybody else be talking about?
I know
Like, no,
you
because
don't.
I already know where I'm going. I
Yeah.
know where my family need to be, so we working at that. What everybody else is doing, great for them. I salute you. I mean, I give you I support you. I hope you do good, but I got work to do on my own.
But that picture that you read was hanging in my office at my corporate job. I would read it every single day. The people that would walk into my office would read it and they'd be like, oh, I love that. They didn't understand that I had a bigger plan in mind. Like, it wasn't just a picture with motivational words on it. That shit meant something to me.
Right.
You know, like, it was deeper for me. So it was really cool. Like, when
You
I
was
was
trying to
able
live
to,
that.
yeah, like when I was able to take that picture off the wall because it was mine and like bring it home and put it in my office. Like, that was such a crazy feeling, like being able to be like, okay, like, I'm not hanging this in my office at work that somebody else pays for. I'm now hanging this in my place of business at my office. Like, it just means so much more, you know? Anyway, and if you want that picture, I don't know if they still have it, but it was at Target. Someone said, I'm still scrolled up because I know we were getting behind on comments. It said, having an issue with my successful brother who doesn't really see value in my business. Should I just ignore it while I find success? Absolutely.
I kind of just answered that one.
Yes. What up, Brandon?
I'm
Any
loading
advice for
into
us for
Kimon
50?
GoDaddy.
Any advice for someone who's 50 years old and starting a new business? Age is just a number, honey. You can learn and apply anything. Who was it that didn't Colonel Sanders, KFC, wasn't he older when he started his business? Started KFC?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% sure. I
No,
can't really
it
give.
was. I'd have to look up the details, but there are so many successful people in life that were later in later stages in their life, right? Because everybody has their own story, they have their own journey, they have things that they have to go through and grow through, right? And sometimes it might take you until later in life when you're wiser and you've made, all the mistakes you feel like you could have possibly made. And now you're like, all right, I'm ready. Like, I'm ready for it. And like, that's what, like, Mikhail and I have been on this journey for 10 years plus, right? And Mikhail said to me, like, maybe 6 months ago or more, like why is it now that we're now really seeing the success that we always visioned for ourselves, And I said, we just weren't ready for it. Like, we just weren't ready to accept the success. We weren't ready to, be able to prosper in the success, right? So sometimes it's just not your time. But you're good. 60 something. Yes. Thank you, Brand. I knew it was him. Any suggestions for working capital for small businesses? Yeah. So are you speaking on, like, I'm assuming, I need to close this door. I'm like getting blinded, but I'm assuming you're talking about working capital loans. So PayPal is great. Like, if you get it through a merchant service, like, that's great. Even if they have like a higher interest rate or a higher fee, it's not a bad thing. My dad, who owns a restaurant, when he was struggling, because restaurants, they have ups and downs. Running a restaurant is very difficult. He got multiple loans through his merchant service, right? And it was not a cheap fee, but I'm telling you, that's what helped him to get ahead. Okay, that's what helped him to stay afloat and continue to run his business. So if you need to take an L on a fee or an interest rate, it's okay if you need to do it once or twice, okay? Right. Just to get you by and get you over this rough patch that your business is going through.
And it can help you.
Yeah. There are times where, like, we paid astronomical fees for something, but I can tell you right now that it was a smart investment because of what we were going to do with that money. We were able to 10x that money. 20x that money, right? Yeah. So you just have to make sure that what you're doing with that money is what's smart, right? So
you giving them names?
Yeah.
All right.
So working capital loans, QuickBooks, Shopify, if you use Shopify, like if you have an e-com business, Stripe, PayPal, eBay. So a lot, and you can notice that a lot of these companies are either payment processors, or they're actual businesses where you can run a business on it, like eBay or Shopify and things like that. They're all great. I've used almost all of them. except I haven't used Shopify or eBay, but I've used all the others. And
Yeah.
they're all great.
And then there's Fundbox. And the thing is, like, and that's not a payment processor, but
I love
the thing is, if you're not using one of these payment processors that offers working capital and you're in need of working capital, you need to switch over to using one of these payment processors for the next 2 to 3 months. I'm not sure if they'll give it to you, like, I know Fundbox will, but I don't know if they'll give it to you like right after you sign up, because you have to show them what your business is averaging through that processor. Not like, they're not going to look at your financials necessarily, not like QuickBooks and, well, Stripe won't and PayPal won't. They're just going to look at your transaction with them. So if your business is worthy of getting working capital, because they're only going to give working capital necessarily to a business that's working. So your business is probably working. Use that payment processor for the next couple of months and they'll give you working capital.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure. Working capital is great. So I'm going to wrap it up here because our son's about to get home. I have a couple other things I have to do. We have a Zoom call with somebody that got started on the Credit Influencer Academy at 7 o'clock tonight. So let's just go over the steps one more time, okay, to 10x your tax return. So step number 1 was to invest into somebody, a mentor, a mentorship of some kind, okay? Step number 2, fix your credit, whether you do it yourself or you pay somebody else to do it for you. I highly suggest you learn how to do it yourself, but that's step number 2. Step number 3 is to start a business or a side hustle of some kind, okay? Step number 4 is to get funding for that business. And then step number 5 is to automate it so that you can eventually get time freedom and financial freedom, okay? So if you're just joining and you missed the 5 steps, we're going to save this live as we do all of our lives, and it'll be posted on our page so you can go back and watch it. If you're somebody that's new to the entrepreneurial space and you're looking to start a business, but you're just not sure where to start, we have a 5 Days to Freedom course that is in our link tree. $97 one time. That's really going to help you to figure out and navigate where to begin. If you're looking to start your own credit repair business, or if you already have a credit repair business and you're looking to scale it to $20,000 a month or more, then you're going to want to join the Credit Influencer Academy. There's 1 spot left at $1,000. After that, price is going up. All right. I am Dominique Bennett.
And I'm Mikkel Bennett.
Did you have something else to say?
I do have, wait.
Go ahead.
If you want to join the Credit Influencer, DM us the word mentor. Either one of us. I know she left that out, so I had to make sure I caught that for y'all. And once again, we're the Bennetts. We'll see you guys at the top. Definitely not at the bottom. Or from the bottom. Or from the top. We'll see you guys at the top and definitely not from the top.
Okay. Bye, guys.